Hello, everybody. Welcome to day 17 of Get Out of the Rat Race Rut. Praise bacon for my husband. I'm Beth Campbell, career coach and mentor, former corporate captive, now helping you find your work wonderland. If you need some help to guide you one-on-one through a career or life challenge, send me a message or go to bethannecampbell.com/coach me. It's just a discovery call. You don't have to pay anything let's just see, let's get to know each other and see if maybe I can help. Thank you so much for being here. If you are watching live, please let me know you're here in the comments. And if you're watching the replay, give me a hashtag replay. And of course, make sure to let me know if you have any questions or feedback so I can address it maybe on tomorrow's episode. Tomorrow is the question and answer and feedback update. So that'll be fun. Got some good questions and some good feedback I'll go over about some previous episodes. All right. Today we are talking about gratitude. Yes, gratitude at work. It is a thing and it is very important. So as humans, we are wired to prioritize negativity. When our ancestors were evolving, it was a survival mechanism that pay attention to things that are threatening or bad or dangerous. And it made sense, right? That's logical. But nowadays, we don't have saber-tooth tigers stalking us in the wild. I mean, yes, some of us women know that we feel like it when we're walking through the parking lot at night in the dark. But anyway, we still cling to that negative bias. It's still kind of in us. It's kind of hardwired. So we tend to pay more attention to negative things and we tend to remember negative things much more vividly. So when somebody criticizes us, we internalize it much more deeply than when somebody says something nice. And if left unchecked, we naturally think about the negative things more than the positive ones. So what all this does is prioritize negative events in our mind. So think about how we push that one negative thing to the top of the pile, even if there are like countless other factors that are positive in anything. Here's a great example for me from my former corporate life. Thankfully, former corporate life. Say that 5 times. I can't. So this is an example that happened to me about halfway into my 23-year professional career. So we talked about performance reviews. This was performance review time. And I got to work one day and I saw when I opened my email that my year-end performance review was ready. So I get a notification, right? My boss was probably up the night before and probably, working late to get it done because you have to, right? Because they take a shitload of time. But I digress. So I open it up and I start going through it. And my overall score, which I hate, but my score was exceeds expectation. Basically, my boss had given me a rave review. Like he complimented so many things because he was awesome. He is awesome. He said I was responsible and smart and accountable and trustworthy. And I was a great leader, which was nice because I was a kind of a new leader at the time. That I was highly respected by the team and by our business partners in the company and managers and executives. It was nearly 100% phenomenal. And I couldn't have asked for a better review except for one little thing. There was one small section on the review form where there were like 8 or 10 different areas that you were to reflect on. The manager was to reflect on, and the manager had to score them, which again, I hate scoring, but one of those items was titled maintains a positive attitude. And on that one, my boss had put development item. Not bad, not, oh my God, she's just horrible, let's fire her, but just a development item. And I knew full well that the company recommendation for these reviews is that everybody has to have a development item. It was drilled into me. I did it with my team. Everybody had a development item. And it was true, by the way. What he said that I needed to develop, work on my attitude, it was true. So all of this considered, didn't matter. It hit me like a freaking cinder block. 99% of my review was stellar and 1% of it was like, hey, let's work on this a little bit. Guess which one I focused on? True story. I was so upset. I packed up my computer. I left the building. I went home. I lied. I said I wasn't feeling well and I just was working from home that day. I bawled on the way home. I was so embarrassed. I thought my boss perceived me as like this horrible, whiny, negative, bitter employee. By the way, facts and stories, we talked about that. What did I make up? None of this was the case, but this is just how we're wired. So that's where I went. One of the reasons that having and expressing gratitude is so important is that it does help to counter this bias towards negativity. It takes a lot of effort to keep those negative thoughts at bay. Again, we're hardwired. It takes a lot. I know I've been working on this for a long time, and it's not easy some days. And we have a lot of things coming at us. And while they're not physically threatening, usually they are negative in nature. So we even feel negative when it's not really negative, at least not like it was negative for our ancestors, right? And that negativity can consume us, and we need to find ways to counter it. I've said before, and I believe this with all of my soul, that what we think about becomes our reality. What we imagine and focus on is what we attract. For one, I don't want to attract the bad stuff. I did that for years. I talked about that in one of our previous episodes. I think it was day 11. I sat complaining at work day after day. Everything was shitty. And guess what? It just kept getting shittier until one day I had a revelation about my mindset, and it started me on the path to positive thinking. And one of those factors was gratitude. So gratitude is one of the easiest and I think best ways to bring that positive energy to your brain. It's simple and you can do it anytime, anywhere. You can be grateful for things in the past. You can be grateful for what you have in the here and now, and you can be grateful for what you will have in the future. And bonus, your gratitude helps manifest your goals and dreams so that they come true. So it's very easy to incorporate gratitude into your life. And there are a million ways to do this and spin this, and people have many great tips, but here are some of the things that I do. So every night before I go to bed, I journal. I write and I repeat my big goals, then I write and repeat my habits that I'm working on, and then I write down what I'm grateful for. Large, medium, small, dinky, doesn't matter. I write down a handful of things that happened during the day that I'm grateful for, like I had a good walk with my dog, or I had a great Facebook Live and got some really good feedback and questions, or maybe I finished a chapter in my novel that I'm working on, The Case of the Demon Drums. Look for that one later this year. Maybe I had a great call with a client, or maybe my dog Moxie and I had some good fetch time. And then I write down a handful of things that are from the future, but I write them as if they've already happened. And these are usually related to like a goal that I'm working on or something I'm trying to manifest. And if I start with, I'm so happy and grateful, or I'm so grateful that I had a great book signing at Barnes & Noble for The Case of the Demon Drums coming soon. And over 300 people showed up. I got 3 new clients for one-on-one coaching. I just got a big check from my uncle for helping him on his book, The Broken Spoke, which just came out. I'm so grateful I had my first $20,000 month from my multiple income streams, whatever it is, just future stuff as if it's happened. And then I read each one of them and I say it out loud or maybe in my mind about why I'm grateful for it. So I might say like just something minor. I'm so grateful for a good walk with my dog Moxie this morning, which sets me up with the energy for the day. She was so cute picking up that big stick and carrying it home, trying to show off to the neighborhood dogs as we walked by. I learned so much about her from our walks, and it's such a great bonding experience. So I'm adding a little bit of emotion and a little bit of impact in there. There's nothing too small to be grateful for. I might be grateful for a great episode of a show I'm binging, which right now is Ted Lasso, for the second time, or if I have a great bowl of pasta or had some great Chinese food I had for lunch, I will write that stuff as being grateful for it. Why not? So by the way, I learned this technique of gratitude from Eva Paycheck. I've talked about it before. She runs the masterclass that I talk about. It's almost every month that happens. It just started this week. It's not too late to join. It's all about mindset in your business and your career. It's amazing. And also it's a part of this bigger program that I'm in called Thinking into Results. Again, I'm not here to sell Ava's program, but it is worth selling. And if you'd like to hear more about it, send me a DM. I'm happy to get on a call with you and talk about it. Anyway, so I also incorporate gratitude into my goals. So every time I repeat my goal, which I do, as I've talked about in the goal episode, number 1, I do every day, and actually number two. I do every day, multiple times a day. And I start it always with, I'm so happy and grateful now that, as if it were in the present. And that is from, if you ever watched The Secret or read The Secret, that is from Bob Proctor. That is one of his kind of taglines. I also, and this is going to be a little counterintuitive, but I also feel gratitude for some of the negative things in my life, or the seemingly negative things, because they teach me a lesson or they show me the way. So when things were getting really bad for me during the last 6 months at my job, just before my position was eliminated, I would express gratitude when bad things would happen. I was grateful when my boss lost his temper, when I would just ask like a simple question, because it showed me his true colors, and knowledge is power. I was so grateful that I recognized all of the painfully obvious signs that I was getting that I was going to be let go soon, because it allowed me to prepare mentally, financially, and with my confidence. And when I finally did let go, I expressed great gratitude, I still do every day, for the universe releasing me from the corporate shackles when I was unable to do it myself. I recognized it was doing exactly what I'd been asking it to do all along. Find me a situation where I was valued, not under stress, with a great supportive boss, which, as it turns out, is me. I'm the greatest boss, right? Or I am a great boss. I'm a great supportive boss for sure. So sometimes things that happen that feel negative, they're really showing you the way. And I always find gratitude in that. Now, you don't need to formally journal to find gratitude. You can feel it anytime, any place, any mood. I do both. I journal in the morning and I journal at night in writing, formally, strategically. And I also express gratitude like randomly. Like I might be sitting outside when my dog's taking a poop and it's like a beautiful day and the sun is shining. It's wonderful. And I'm sorry, I know I bring up poop a lot, but I like talking about poop. But I'm just saying, it's a random moment. You're just sitting there. You could just be, I don't know, doing the dishes and just be grateful for something. So gratitude can help you sustain the feeling when you're feeling great. So keep it going. And gratitude can bring you up whenever your negative, your negativity kind of comes into play and takes over, when your energy is negative for whatever reason. Whenever I'm having a moment, right, the first thing I do is turn to gratitude. I might also do some self-image work, which we talked about before, and some techniques, or, other things, other tools, but I will always incorporate gratitude because it doesn't require a lot of effort. It's very effective. It's a lot of bang for your buck. So the next time you're challenged at work, find some time to be grateful and watch how it turns your outlook around. Be grateful for that mean senior vice president who mockingly called your project the biggest loser in the albatross, because you weathered discomfort with professionalism and grace, because it helps you confirm what kind of management you do want versus don't want. Be grateful that you have triple booked meetings all day, because it means you're important to a lot of people, because you won't be bored, or because maybe it motivates you to want to open your own business or get a different job. Be grateful for that quick coffee break you had with that coworker that you love talking to, because it helped calm you down before a big project meeting and they gave you some great advice. There's always something to be grateful for, and it really does help boost your spirit. So practice some gratitude this week, like really double down, and then come back here and let me know how it went. Okay, I'm going to go to the comments now. Stephanie, hello, Stephanie. Stephanie is, I know Stephanie is a pro on gratitude, and she talks about gratitude and she talks about wonderful things. So thanks that Stephanie says she loves this episode. Thank you. We can see/feel the results of gratitude sooner than other habits. So true, right? Because it's just easy and it just makes us feel good, right? Easily weave it into our day, 100%. And when we're working on gratitude, our heart and eyes are more open to it. Our focus is on the positive, not the negative. Exactly. Crystallize my thoughts. Exactly. Yes. It is such a great way, and it's so easy to do. And I know there are people out there. I know you. Believe me, I worked with you. I know you. That you just, it's woo, but it's not. It's really not. It's really not woo. And who cares if it is, if it works? I'm telling you. And it's not like all toxic positivity. It's really just I know I was there in corporate, and there were days when I meltdown. I mean, it was just, I could feel like, I'm surprised I don't have a blood pressure issue from that. And this is such a great way to just Okay, put it into perspective. That's what it is. You're putting it into perspective because we do focus on the crap. I talk about the shit of corporate life all the time, but if you ask me, and I will tell you, I miss a lot of stuff about it, right? And I took that for granted, and I didn't appreciate that when I was there. The things that were great, and there were a lot of great things. So, and gratitude is a part of most faiths. True. It's also a part of non-faith. I'm a I mean, faith in the generic sense, but not in the religious sense. So yeah, it's ubiquitous. Anybody can express gratitude and feel gratitude. So, and thank you for your comments, Stephanie. All right, tomorrow we're going to go over some questions and feedback that you have provided to me and some things in the career coaching world. So if you have any other questions, please put them in the comments and I'll try to fit them in. Don't forget to connect with me on Facebook or LinkedIn if you're not already. And thank you so much, and you too, Stephanie, especially for joining Get Out of the Rat Race Rut. You're here because you're a badass. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. I will see you tomorrow.